welcome to our YouTube channel, our family YouTube channel. So, well, I'm making this video and also a YouTube channel. Sorry about the noise on the background. I'm making this YouTube channel because we got a lot of questions, a lot of DMs about why we moved to Spain, how did we move to Spain, and do we have a job? Are the kids going to a Spanish school or an international school? How did we find a house? So I wanted to answer all of the questions here. But I will make a separate video as well to go a little bit deeper in the topics. Just FYI, my English is not so perfect because if I speak a lot of English, then I start to confuse words and all of that. But I try to do it in English because a lot of the DMs are from other people as well, from American people and other countries, and I only speak Dutch and Polish. So let's try to do this video in English. I will try to do a subtitle downstairs in English, so when I confuse my words, you will have a subtitle who will translate it more beautiful for you. Okay, let's start. So, we are a family of 5, me and my husband. I am 32, my husband is 34-ish, 34, and we have 3 children. The oldest is going to be 12. It's our girl, Adriana, and the second is 9 years old. That's my son, Jordan. It's our son, Jordan. And we have a little daughter of 5 years old, Eliana. We are currently living in Malaga, Torremolinos, and we moved here 5 months ago. Why did we move to Spain? First of all, because of the temperature. In Belgium, the weather is not so nice. Second of all, also we were always stressed in Belgium, like with our jobs, and most of the time I was stressed, and I always wanted to live by the beach. I always said when I was little, I'm a mermaid and I need to see water, and it's the truth, I need to see water, not that I'm a mermaid. And I think overall with our life with the children, that we are more closer in Spain and more relaxed there, and we are a lot of outside. The children are barely on their cell phones or barely on the computer or watching TV. Even we don't have Netflix anymore, so those are all benefits. Yeah, so how did we start planning? So we had a vision board at our house like for 7 years with the sea, a beautiful white house, but we didn't have the job to move abroad, so we didn't have remote jobs. I work for an HR company, so it was not on remote, but my husband found a job on remote. So that started everything. So we had like, okay, if I can find a remote job in the same category that I'm working now, that will be perfect, and then we can move with our jobs. That was the first scenario. So we started to plan, but not to plan, you know, like saving up money, but not saving up. It was like, we wanted to go 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but we were thinking about family, the kids, how are they going to do it at school, my best friend and everything. So with 1 foot, we were planning with 1 foot out, you know? I think a lot of people have the same thinking because there are doubts. You are going to move into another country, you don't speak the language, you don't know nothing about the country, you don't know how to rent a house, how to rent a car, you don't know shit. So yeah, then one day I got a message from a friend, look, this is a job for in Spain, maybe you should apply for the job. And I did so. It was an international company, but they have a headquarter also in Malaga. So I applied for the job. It was the same job that I did in Belgium. So HR, recruitment, and I got the job. Guys, I got the job. When I got the job, it was like, okay, now we have to move. Like, you have a remote job, I have a remote job, and in my job, there was a question if I would like to move to Malaga because they are looking for someone with my languages. So yes, of course. We set our date that after 6 months we will move, but after a lot of consideration, everything went faster. We were like, okay, let's move in December. So October, I got the job, and 16 December, we moved out of Belgium with only suitcases and not a big plan or something. We hired an Airbnb, and from the Airbnb we have appointments for houses. We had some local guy who knew a lot of people and agencies, but keep in mind that it was holiday season. So everything was almost closed. But okay, 17 we were in Spain, 17 or 18 we had already a couple of houses to see. When we went there, all the houses were up on hill. I know that a lot of houses are on a hill, but those houses were like on the hill where Jesus and God is your neighbor. No, it was too much for me. I couldn't drive that way. I didn't feel comfortable to be so high. It was very beautiful. The views were beautiful, such a silence, but it was totally not for me. I come from a city. I was born in a city, and it was just not for me. I didn't feel comfortable at all. I didn't feel home. I feel isolated from people. So no, that was a big problem because he didn't have other houses to show us, only back like in January, February, but we needed something fast because we only booked 3 weeks of Airbnb in the hope that we will find something. So, okay, we changed our Airbnb to a little bit closer to Malaga center, and a friend of ours, a colleague of my work, had posted something on Facebook and reached out to a lot of Dutch people, and a Belgian homeowner just got a house to rent. She moved out the house with her 3 children back to Belgium, so she had a beautiful house. And yes, we got the house. We got the house in beginning of January. I think the first week, 2nd of January, after New Year. So we spent the holidays in an Airbnb, New Year as well, and 2 days later we moved into the house. It was a furnitured house, so that was perfect. Everything was super nice. It was everything I dreamed of. It was really like on my vision board. So manifestations worked for us. I will do a home tour as well, but not now. Otherwise, this will be too long and yada yada yada. Okay, and then the third thing. I don't know what they are doing right now, but hello, I'm recording. And the third thing is we were thinking about school. What are we going to do? Because international schools are really expensive. And for 3 children, it's like a whole Belgium salary that is going away. So that was not an option for us, because in the future we wanted to buy and to save some money, and we were not thinking about tithing on budget, and renting a house in Malaga is expensive. So we were starting to look for public schools, and it was a bumpy ride because you cannot choose your school. It's not like in Belgium you go to a couple of schools and when there is place you can put yourself on a list. No, you have to see, okay, my street is in this region, so in this region are those schools, and those schools you go to. But when we went to the city hall, they told us, no, you cannot go to the schools. You have to go to the Michael Jackson building in Malaga. That's the headquarters of all schools, and they will tell you where there is a place left, because we came in the middle of the school year. So this is what we did. We went with all our documentation, with our padron. So this is the address and all the paperwork you have to get done when you get a house. And we went there, and they told us, yeah, you have to write your name down and number, and we will call you for an appointment. 2 weeks later, no phone call. Luckily for us that the children still had online schooling and online tasks from Belgium, because otherwise we were working, they had to do something, and skipping school that long was not an option. So we went back, and still they told us the same: write your name down and your number, we will call you, you are not the first person who is waiting. And then I was feeling like very pressured. I was pressuring myself, I need to find a school, we need to find a school, because we can no longer depend on Belgium schooling, because the online school was ending, and we need to find something for those kids. So we were very stressed, and luckily I found a friend over here through Instagram. It's a long story as well, but she went with me to schools. She speaks Spanish and Dutch, so that helped me a lot, because a lot of the public schools don't speak English. And she started to translating, and we found a school. They had room for 2 children and not for my oldest daughter. So what did we do? We set the the 9-year-old and the 5-year-old. They were already in the school. They are already starting on Monday. And then because of those two, the third child could also go to the school, but they needed to separate the classes for her because otherwise they were too crowded. So they need to separate the class, but to do that, Spain is Spain, they had to have a legal document from the city hall to legally separate the class for the sister. So after I think 2 or 3 weeks, they had everything final, everything was final, all the documentation was final, they separate the classes, and my oldest daughter was entering the school as well. I will tell you a little bit more about the school, but not in this video because I'm already tired of talking. So, but yeah, I will tell you about the public school, what do we think, and all of that. So this is a little bit our story. This is how everything went for us. We didn't have a lot of savings. We saved some money, of course, because we sold everything in Belgium, but we didn't have a house in Belgium, so we didn't sell our house and then moved here to buy a house. No, it wasn't the story like that. We are starting from scratch here as well. Okay, we have a little bit of savings, but I don't think that overall you don't have to have like a big 100k or 200k to move abroad. I don't think so. I think if your mindset is like you're not really materialistic and you don't want to have a big mansion and you don't want to buy immediately a big house, I think you can start from scratch. And I think it depends on your age as well. It's not that I want to be like racist or anything. I think because we are young parents, I think we have something like, okay, we don't feel pressure to buy a house immediately here. But in the future we really would like to, because there are a lot of options here, and of course we want to have our own house and we have other plans as well. And I think step by step we are doing everything that we can. But yeah, this is how we moved. We moved in 3 months, 2 months and a half, without preparation, without years of planning. No, we just did it based on our jobs. But in the next video I can answer more about what kind of job are we doing, how we are handling taxes and everything, which documentation did we need, how did we get our NI number. I will explain it in the next video. This is just to get to know us a little bit more, and it would be nice if you would follow our story as well. I will try to vlog all the time in English, just because I think it's comfortable for everyone to understand. And as I told you, I will set some subscriptions. Oh my god, I will put some, downstairs. I don't care anymore, so you can read it as well if my English is brokish. So okay, thanks for watching, you guys. This was our story, a little bit chaotic. That's who we are. And just if you have any other questions, put them down below and I will try to answer them as well. And for one thing, this is our experience. I will not encourage everybody to just pack up with 3 children and go away. No, 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 no. I'm just telling how we did it, with what mindset, with what timing. So this is our story, and we can just give you some tips, because there will be struggles, because this is Spain and whole other mentality. But overall, enjoy the process, and if you have doubts, you can always reach out and I try to answer the things that we went through and our experience. So see you next time. Bye.